one last question um, before we go. And I'm curious to know because I think a lot of people, and I think those are some really good examples as well, which you're saying, like how your diet can really help you bring a greater sense of connection and balance just on a physical, and thus it equates to the energetic level. I think that's so very important. And I want to say too, you have to figure out what works for you. And I think, and be open to trying things and learning, like, yeah, that doesn't really feel that good in my body. I think that's really something that's super, super important for people to cultivate and learn how to connect to that biofeedback. So the final
Yeah.
question that I have for you is, how do you specifically find balance when everything around you feels unstable? Like what are your practices? Like when you think of the last time you, like right now you kind of talking about you're having challenges in sleeping or getting up or what have you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how are you meeting yourself in that awareness of, okay, this is what's going on, and finding a sense of harmony, finding the harmony in that? Like what are like your, what are you doing?
Well, to stay out of the chaos is that I am choosing not to be in the mess. Normally I just bring my light. So technically I like to go I need to get back to the park. It's almost bike riding season, is to bike the trails. I mean, there's no more biking on the streets like back in the day, because I probably would not remain on my bike. I'd probably end up somewhere I don't want to be. So, is to get into the trails, and to walk and to connect again with the water, the nature's different areas, and even just being still here, because sometimes when I understand, when I go in and I'm around a lot of energy, especially a lot of low energy, or a lot of chaos around, is that I have to come and I have to decompress. So all of us need to do that, whether we believe it or not. And as I miss, sometimes I have to release because I'm giving a lot too. So I have to come, and I like to walk like I just did. Walk. I like to take drives
Mm-hmm.
on the
Love your
interstate
driving.
outside the city. And I just connect with natures. And some of the towns on the outside, you don't have nothing but natures. I recently had a baby fox run across me in another vehicle down one of these little roads, one of these other routes on the outskirts of town. And there's a lot of wildlife, so you have to watch it. And deer, so I go in those natures in the area. I also like to write. If I don't fight it,
Mm.
then I'll write it. I want to get back into the modalities of coloring, because that brings about the time to relax, release, and it gives the opportunity to think or to create. And so that's a really huge thing, because of the work that I'm doing now with Major. It was a big thing that everything that comes into your mind, the creative mind, comes from that of our divine. And some things we dismiss because we don't believe that we can accomplish it. So when I'm writing, or I've read, or I've been prompted to do something, it looks like I can do it on the moment. And so if we go back, let me put it, here's a key, go back to our childlike selves, we will find peace in what it was to be a kid, depending on how. I know some of us didn't have it. Some just told me to say this, didn't have the bestest of childhoods.
Mm-hmm.
But you, as our teacher, son, is that you can start to nurture and reparent and reconnect to what that would have been like for you, from coloring books to painting to anything that allows you the freedom to just be. And in that freedom, creation comes. It could be anything to maybe, well, my God, I'm an artist now. Oh my goodness, I ought to create this business around this thought that just came up. Let me look into that. Oh my God, I'm a poet. Let me just do that. And I think that every aspect of somebody, people just don't do it because they didn't share. But I found out and been told that what have I written isn't just for me, it's a reminder of me. So when I am talking to you, I'm also reminding myself of that. And the message is full circle around being in alignment with whatever that journey is for you. And it's not always what we desire to be. And I'm finding that out, that my joy can come from, like you said, renting that Bentley, driving it, having the opportunity to drive and still have a cool car that I walk up to that I like, or taking that money and continuing to travel, or maybe even walk into that plane where I don't have my feet and my shoes and my arms going off in the in the
Mm. She pulls up on a runway and the plane is right there, type of
that's right.
vibes.
That.
And they know your name.
So that's right. So
They,
that
welcome.
and I know theirs too. That's the cool part, is I know yours too. Just being that loving, just human energy, being a light, being, a flame, being, there's joy in all of us. But if we continue to go into the fact that we are joy within, and stop letting the world and taking things so personal. It's just like go downtown and this low energy part. I come down to help you. I don't know how the person treated you before, but the person treated before you isn't me. So I'd like to have a different energy when I come to you. But I understand that that's not under my control. So I have to keep my energy. And I had to do some woosahs after a while, because I'm really, it's hard to be around low energy all the time. And people,
You're human. But I was talking about how other people can knock us out of
I know,
our
I know
frequency.
it's an awareness. And
Hmm.
so the fact that I am aware, and when you aware, you can bring yourself back
Yeah.
into that loving state, that you are, and understand that it ain't about you, it's about them. And then I just try to love on people regardless. But you know I think, coming from a different place of service and care and helping people, and not, you know if I had to figure it out, why are you here? But we all need each other's help. We just have to understand that helping somebody and not have them go through a whole bunch that they don't have to go through is loving, it's caring. And hopefully that when things went on in my life, and some of them, that I didn't project that on the other, because connecting with other people and serving them brought another level of joy, I guess, or happiness to me. Um, and knowing people appreciated um my service and my helping them, my knowing how to keep them from being transferred 5 times to somebody, or to keep them from driving here or driving there, and knowing those things. And that's what we were here for. If I mean, I like knowing about a lot of stuff, but some of us are really, 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 really good at something. And that's why you're
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
to help and align, and to be that energetic gift to someone else, to align with what it is that you're here for versus what you think you're supposed to be here for. And it's a huge difference, and it's a shift in and of itself, to shift to that. Being a spiritual album has always been connected, but never in that. But when I go back and look at the bike that I manifested, not knowing how it was going to come, doing stuff that I just normally did naturally, and just believing and keeping on, and just transmitting and attracting. And then it's the bigger things that we dismiss, our dreams, they said they're supposed to be big enough, so big that they scare us, but scare us into making it or manifesting it into happening. It just may not look the way we think it ought to look.
Right.
And that's the key
Never
right
does.
there. Yeah.
It never does. And I was listening to you talk about, answering the question of how you find balance when everything around you feels unstable. And the first thing you said was, I like to go on a drive, right? And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, hell no. This is a good point around the bio individuality that exists in honoring that part. So I think for me, I would never get in the car. I would like getting in a car driving is not currently soul soothing and what have you. And I know that about myself. And I think that's part of how I find the balance when things feel unstable is I honor myself and I sit with myself and I ask myself and I don't try to push myself to do things that I may get feedback of like, oh, well, maybe like, because someone said, maybe you just need to go for a drive. And I was like, everything inside me was like, oh, hell no, why do that? But for a minute, I was like, could that be a good thing? Even though
If
my
you get
body was
outside the
like,
city,
did it take so much time to get out? What does that mean though, where I am?
let
Realistically,
me tell you what
I'd
that
have
mean
to
where you
drive
are.
for so long, but I have to come back. But for me, what my point
Yeah,
is,
I got you.
it doesn't honor me. And
Yes.
so one thing that I kind of recognize is when I feel into the chaos and it's just like overwhelming,
Yeah.
it's a reminder of I'm lacking care and attention showing myself that because that means
Yeah.
I'm paying so much attention to the outside things that I have lost my sense of self because I'm
Yeah.
not connected to myself. I'm seeing what's going on in the world. And it's just whenever I feel overwhelmed, it's it's an indication for me to like close my eyes, like, you know what? We need to disconnect.
Thank
And
you for that. Yeah.
so my disconnection is
Hmm.
I love being outside. I don't want to be around people.
That,
I want to
yeah.
be around people because
Sometime.
yeah, sometimes it really does depend on the person. But I find initially I need to be by myself. There's only
Yes,
one person
I
that
get that.
I could like go around is my mom and be like, Mom, can I have a hug? And then I get a hug, and then it can like raise my energy. But I also recognize there may need to be a cap on that, and I may have to be selfish and be like, I just need a hug. But I don't want to talk about how I'm feeling.
You remind me of you have some Gemini energy when it comes to that.
I mean, my moon is Gemini. That's literally
Yeah,
my
I know.
emotions and such. But no, it's
Yeah.
because sometimes talking about things for me does not resolve, doesn't give me resolution sometimes. And I think it goes back to the bio individuality is, and the whole point of us having all these different levels of topics of conversation is you have to get to a place of self awareness.
Yes,
You
that right
have to
there.
know yourself so much where you're like, no, actually, I don't want to drive a car. Like, if that makes you feel good for you versus convincing yourself or feeling like you like, well, what's wrong with me? Like everyone's talking about how good it is to like go on these drives and I'm just kind of like the one that's like like what's wrong with me versus being comfortable with that, like, yeah, I'm good, and not feeling like you have to explain it. And I think that is how you find that harmony in your life. And you can, for me, that I access the balance and I reckon it's more of recognizing when I'm imbalanced and how can I pause and do something that honors the unique expression of myself. Because what is happening is that I'm in that mode of absorbing other things in the world
Yeah.
that just doesn't feed me. And so I need to feed myself. So that's how I find balance when everything around me feels unstable, is that when I feel such destabilization, such a level of instability, that's
Go
the word,
outside. Hmm.
I recognize the need to be with myself, to reflect, okay, what's going on with me? How can I show myself love? Do I need to like turn some music on and like big up myself? I mean, do I need to go outside and be in nature and listen to the birds? Or do I need to have a conversation with someone that I know will listen to me, that I can call and be like, hey, I just want to like just vent verbally, just like bleh, and I don't want any feedback. I just want you to listen. And I have a few people that I can do that with. So it's really about having that awareness, kind of like what you were saying, like checking in with yourself. Like you check in, like when you were talking about the person that was a little bit kind of frustrating, your interaction when you were trying to like work with them. I'm assuming it was a government employee. Yeah, it's that awareness piece where you meet yourself every day where you are and you honor that expression, because it looks a little bit different every day. Every day is not going to look the same. And I think expecting us to look the same every day is where we cause the imbalance within our own world. And thus
Yeah.
we manifest that in other people as well. So
I love
that's
that.
where I am with that.
I I think they're similar. I mean, when
They're
I'm
very similar.
driving, when I get out, I'm connecting with the earth. It's just interesting because once I'm able to flow and go on cruise control, I am definitely in it with
Yeah.
myself.
That's you're like my other friend, Raquel. She has no problem being in the car. To the point where when we went on vacation, she was fine driving. And it was good because I don't enjoy driving in the way that she does. And it was nice to be the passenger and just like look at like, oh look. And I think she was highly entertained by my joy in seeing the clouds in the sky. Like, oh, look at that cloud. It looks like Snoopy. And she's just kind of like,
Yes,
she's like,
man.
oh
That's why I
my God, you're
want a
right. It
camera
does look like Snoopy.
where I could snap pictures like that because clouds, I do
Mm.
catch the faces. I see a lot of stuff. It's just so cool.
And I do
I mean,
drive.
I,
Listen, I'm not
I
I'm not like a passenger princess. I will gladly drive as well, but I just recognize that's not where my joy
you're,
is.
yeah, yeah. I
Unless
would
I
love
got
to
a
be a
bomb ass
passenger.
playlist, then that's a whole
Yeah.
nother thing.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I'm just not used to being a passenger on the other side. And it's not because I haven't desired, it's just people haven't been around to do it. And I mean, I would like it. I wouldn't mind being chauffeured. I always thought I'd have a chauffeur, but it wouldn't be
And
because I
chauffeured
didn't want
in
to
there.
drive. It'd be because
Chauffeured in your
maybe,
Bentley.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe that's how you have the Bentley.
yeah, that would be sweet.
Oh my God, I could so
That would
see
be
you
definitely
doing
sweet.
that. I could so see you doing that. I'm looking forward to seeing your your track your house that you're
Track.
building. Yeah, I'll be in the passenger seat as a ghost when you're 120. Okay. Don't let anybody sit
I'm
there because I'll be there in spirit.
Well, it would be more than a circular track. This would be a more challenging. I like curves. I just like the challenge. Just challenging the very gift and skill of being able to do that as well. I think there's a drag racing place up in Michigan, too. So, just the euphoria, the euphoria, the euphoria of it all. I mean, you find a couple euphoria in just about anything, but that is just so different.